The Wisdom of Solomon, Hokmah Shalamah, Chapter 1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of Yahuah with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and shows himself unto such as do not distrust him. For froward thoughts separate from Elohim, and his power, when it is tried, reproves the unwise. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. For the Ruach HaKodesh of discipline will flee deceit, and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness comes in. For wisdom is a loving Ruach, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. For Elohim is witness of his mind, and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue. For the Ruach Yahuah fills the world, and that which contains all things has knowledge of the voice. Therefore, he that speaks unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance, when it punishes, pass by him. For inquisition shall be made into the counsels of wicked men, and the sound of his words shall come unto Yahuah for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. For the ear of jealousy hears all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid. Therefore, beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting, for there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that belies slays the soul. Seek not death in the error of your life, and pull not upon yourselves destruction with the work of your hands. For Elohim made not death, neither has he pleasure in the destruction of the living. For he created all things, that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. For righteousness is immortal, but wicked men with their works and words called it to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught, and cut a covenant with it, because they were worthy to take part with it. Chapter 2. For the wicked said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from Sheol. For we were born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our bodies shall be turned into ashes, and our ruach shall vanish as the soft air. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist, that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passes away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed, so that no man comes again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraids us with our offending the Torah, and objects to our infamy, the transgressing of our education. He professes to have the knowledge of Elohim, and he calls himself the child of Yahuah. He was made to reprove our thoughts, He is grievous unto us even to behold. For his life is not like other men's, his ways are of other fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstains from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounces the end of the just to be blessed and makes his boast that Elohim is his father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of Elohim, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own sayings he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine, and were deceived. For their own wickedness has blinded them. As for the mysteries of Elohim, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. For Elohim created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. Chapter 3. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Elohim, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and their going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Elohim proved them, and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace has he tried them, and received them as an ascending smoke offering. And in the time of their visitation they shall shine, and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Yahuah shall reign forever. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his Kodashim, and he has care for his elect. But the wicked shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken Yahuah. For whosoever despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain, their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. Their women are foolish, and their children wicked. Their offspring is cursed. Wherefore blessed is the barren that is undefiled, which has not known the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls. And blessed is the eunuch, which with his hands has wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against Elohim. For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith, and an inheritance in the temple of Yahuah, more acceptable to his mind. For glorious is the fruit of good labors, and the root of wisdom shall never fall away. As for the children of those who break wedlock, they shall not come to their perfection. And the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last date shall be without honor. Or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. Chapter 4. Better it is to have no children and to have virtue, for the memorial thereof is immortal, because it is known with Elohim and with men. When it is present, men take example at it, and when it is gone, they desire it. It wears a crown and triumphs forever, having gotten the victory, striving for undefiled rewards. But the multiplying brood of the wicked shall not thrive, nor take deep rootings from the bastard's lips, nor lay any fast foundation. For though they flourish in the branches for a time, yet standing not last, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds they shall be rooted out. The imperfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yea, meat for nothing. For children begotten of toilless beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. But though the righteous be prevented with death, yet shall he be in rest. For honorable age is not that which stands in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years, but wisdom is the gray hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age. He pleased Elohim, and was beloved of him, so that living among sinners he was translated. Yea, speedily was he taken away, lest that wickedness should alter his understanding, or deceit beguile his soul. For the bewitching of wickedness obscures things that are honest, and the wandering of lustful desire undermines the simple mind. He, being made perfect in a short time, fulfilled a long time. For his soul pleased Yahuah. Therefore hastened he to take him away from among the wicked. This the people saw, and understood it not, neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his Kodashim, and that he has respect unto his chosen. Thus the righteous that is dead shall condemn the wicked which are living, and youth that is soon perfected the many years and old age of the unrighteous. For they shall see the end of the wise, and shall not understand what Elohim in his counsel has decreed for him, and to what end Yahuah has set him in safety. They shall see him and despise him, but Elohim shall laugh them to scorn, and they shall hereafter be a vile carcass, and a reproach among the dead forevermore. For he shall rend them and cast them down headlong, that they shall be speechless, and he shall shake them from the foundation, and they shall be utterly laid waste and be in sorrow, and their memorial shall perish. And when they cast up the accounts of their sins, they shall come with fear, and their own iniquities shall convince them to their face. Chapter 5. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his Yeshua, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of the Ruach, shall say within themselves, This was he, whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Elohim, and his lot is among the Kodashim? Therefore have we erred in the way of truth, and the light of righteousness has not shined unto us, and the brilliance of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts, where there lay no way. But as for the way of Yahuah, we have not known it. What has pride profited us, or what good has riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hastened by, and as a ship that passes over the waves of the water, which, when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the keel in the waves. Or as when a bird has flown through the air, there is no sign of her way to be found, but the light air beaten with the stroke of her wings, and parted with the violent noise and motion of them, is passed through, and therein afterwards no sign where she went is to be found. Or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it parts the air, which immediately comes together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through. Even so we, in like manner, as soon as we are born, begin to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. For the hope of the wicked is like dust that is blown away with the wind. like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with the tempest, and passes away as the remembrance of a guest that tarries but a day. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with Yahuah, and the care of them is with El Elyon. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from Yahweh's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of a helmet. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark. And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the flood shall cruelly drown them. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Chapter 6. Hear ye therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of Yahuah, and sovereignty from El Elyon, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. Because, being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the Torah, nor walked after the counsel of Elohim. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. For he which is Yahuah over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness, for he has made the small and great, and cares for all alike. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. Unto you therefore, O kings, do I speak, that you may learn wisdom and not fall away. For they that guard holiness purely shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. Wherefore, set your affection upon my words. Desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Wisdom is glorious, and never fades away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. She prevents them that desire her, in making herself first known unto them. Whoso seeks her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his door. To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watches for her shall quickly be without care. For she goes about seeking such are worthy of her, shows herself favorable unto them in the ways, and meets them in every thought. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love, and love is the keeping of her Torah, and the giving heed unto her Torah is the assurance of incorruption, and incorruption makes us near unto Elohim. Therefore the desire of wisdom brings to a kingdom. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. As for wisdom, what she is and how she came up, I will tell you, and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity, and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. Neither will I go with consuming envy, for such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom. But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. Receive therefore instruction through my words, and it shall do you good. Chapter 7. I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man and the pleasure that came with sleep. And when I was born, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature, and the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that with cares. For there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. For all men have one entrance into life, and the like going out. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon Elohim, and the Ruach HaKodesh came to me. I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches nothing in comparison of her. Neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as a little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light, for the light that comes from her never goes out. All good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hands. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom goes before them, and I knew not that she was the mother of them. I learned diligently, and do communicate her liberally. I do not hide her riches. For she is a treasure unto men that never fails, which they that use become the friends of Elohim, being commended for the gifts that come from learning. Elohim has granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as is meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leads unto wisdom and directs the wise. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also and knowledge of workmanship. For he has given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made, and the operation of the elements, the beginning, ending, and midst of the times, the alterations of the turning of the sun, and the change of seasons, the circuits of years, and the position of stars, the natures of living creatures, and the furies of wild beasts, the violence of winds, the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants, and the virtues of roots, and all such things as are either secret or manifest, them I know. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding Ruach, holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle, Ruach. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passes and goes through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of Elohim, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of El Shaddai. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of Elohim, and the image of his goodness. And being but one, she can do all things. And remaining in herself, she makes all things new. And in all ages entering into holy souls, she makes them friends of Elohim and prophets. For Elohim loves none but him that dwells with wisdom. For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of stars. Being compared with the light, she is found before it. For after this comes night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom. Chapter 8. Wisdom reaches from one end to another mightily, and sweetly she orders all things. I loved her, and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. In that she is conversant with Elohim, she magnifies her nobility. Yea, Yahuah of all things himself loved her. For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of Elohim, and a lover of his works. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that works all things? And if prudence work, who of all that is a more cunning workman than she? And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teaches temperance, prudence, justice, and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. If a man desire much experience, she knows things of old, and conjectures aright what is to come. She knows the subtleties of speeches, and can expound dark sentences. She foresees signs and wonders, and the events of seasons and times. Therefore, I purpose to take her to me to live with me, knowing that she would be a counselor of good things and a comfort in cares and grief. For her sake I shall have estimation among the multitude, and honor with the elders, though I be young. Be found of a quick conceit in judgment, and shall be admired in the sight of great men. When I hold my tongue, they shall abide my leisure, and when I speak, they shall give good ear unto me. If I talk much, they shall lay their hands upon their mouth. Moreover, by the means of her I shall obtain immortality, and leave behind me an everlasting memorial to them that come after me. I shall set the people in order, and the nations shall be subject unto me. Horrible tyrants shall be afraid when they do but hear of me. I shall be found good among the multitude, and valiant in war. After I am come into my house, I will repose myself with her, for her conversation has no bitterness, and to live with her has no sorrow, but mirth and joy. Now, when I considered these things in myself, and pondered them in my heart, how that to be allied unto wisdom is immortality, and great pleasure it is to have her friendship, and in the works of her hands are infinite riches, and in the exercise of conference with her, prudence, and in talking with her, a good report. I went about seeking how to take her to me, for I was a witty child, and had a good ruach. Yea, rather, being good, I came into a body undefiled. Nevertheless, when I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, except Elohim gave her me, and that was a point of wisdom also, to know whose gift she was, I prayed unto Yahuah and besought him, and with my whole heart I said. Chapter 9. O Elohim of my fathers, and Yahuah of mercy, who have made all things with your word, and ordained man through your wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which you have made, and order the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart. Give me wisdom that sits by your throne, and reject me not from among your children. For I, your servant and son of your handmaid, am a feeble person and of a short time, and too young for the understanding of judgment and Torah. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet, if your wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. You have chosen me to be a king of your people, and a judge of your sons and daughters. You have commanded me to build a temple upon your holy mount, and an altar in the city wherewith you dwell, a resemblance of the holy tabernacle which you have prepared from the beginning. And wisdom was with you, which knows your works, and was present when you made the world, and knew what was acceptable in your sight, and right in your commandments. O send her out of your holy heavens, and from the throne of your glory, that being present she may labor with me, that I may know what is pleasing unto you. For she knows and understands all things, and she shall lead me soberly in my doings, and preserve me in her power. So shall my works be acceptable, and then shall I judge your people righteously and be worthy to sit in my Father's seat. For what man is he that can know the counsel of Elohim? Or who can think what the will of Yahuah is? For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. For the corruptible body presses down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weighs down the mind that muses upon many things. And hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us. But the things that are in heaven, who has searched out? And your counsel, who has known, except you give wisdom and send your Ruach HaKodesh from above? For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto you, and were saved through wisdom.